It's time for the world to meet the iPhone X. Just don't call it the iPhone X. The true successor to the iPhone is here, and there's a lot of technology packed into its 5.8-inch OLED package. Also getting announced today was the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 8 Plus, so pour one out for what would have been the iPhone 7s and the iPhone 7s Plus. The leaks were right. The phones look like we expected them to look. They look like this, available in space gray or silver, but there's a lot of technology that perhaps we didn't know about. First, the screen technology. It's OLED. And Apple said they waited on OLED for sort of obvious OLED reasons. It wasn't the best in direct sunlight, it wasn't the best for brightness. They said they fixed all of those issues, creating a really bright and vibrant display. And they are dubbing this new display Super Retina display, and I think most exciting and probably most importantly, we finally have a true higher resolution display from Apple. This thing has a resolution of 2436 by 1125. If you can do that math, it's got a 458 ppi. Now, it's by no means the highest pixels per inch of any 5.8-inch phone out there, but it is the highest ppi that Apple has ever announced. And they claim the screen looks absolutely beautiful, and at least it appears to look really nice. And it's got the same design that we expected. It is edge to edge with the cutout on the top for the cameras. We're gonna talk a lot about those cameras. Apple's calling that whole cutout the true depth sensors. They do a lot with the phone, but the cutouts on the left and the right are gonna do a few things. So first, the one on the left is where you're going to see your time. On the right, you'll see notifications like your cellular strength. You'll see whether it connects to Wi-Fi. And we're also gonna use those for the UI as well. Our initial thought was that those areas are going to be kept for only those notifications, but actually that area of the screen is going to be used in a lot of apps. So if you're viewing a video, there's going to be a cutout in your video. Pictures the same way, third-party apps as well. So we're on the home screen only when we see those notifications up at the top. So bear that in mind, no matter what you're doing, you're going to have a little bit of a cutout. It doesn't look to be a giant issue with the phone, but the cutout is definitely going to be there. This is something I've been screaming at for years, and we finally have it from Apple. We now have wireless charging, and I give Apple credit for using the Qi standard. So any Qi chargers, but not you've got a wireless charger from Samsung or LG or Belkin or Mophie, whatever you want, you can now charge your iPhone X and also be able to charge your iPhone 8 and iPhone 8 Plus. But of course, it wouldn't be Apple without sort of their own spin on it. So they're announced something new called AirPower. It's a new technology. It's going to go in conjunction with a new piece of hardware that can charge multiple things at once. You can charge your iPhone, you can put your AirPods on it, and your Apple Watch Series 3, which got announced on it. It'll kind of charge it all at once with the cool animations on the phone. That's not going to ship till next year. What you got to know at least is Qi wireless charging is here. Powering this whole phone is Apple's new A11 Bionic chip, and Apple's first in-house designed GPU. Should get 70% better performance than last gen. That's the same chipset that's going to be found on the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 8 Plus, but there's new sort of neural networking processing being done because this thing doesn't have a home button. And without a home button, you don't have Touch ID. So enter Face ID. This is facial unlocking. This isn't like the old school Android facial unlocking where you just sort of looked at your face and unlocked. Apple's doing crazy stuff with the cameras here. Apple's using infrared and dot projection to actually make a map of your face and using that reference when you want to unlock your phone. So the way it works, you'll pick up the phone, pull up to your face, and it will presumably unlock. Now, the demo that Craig Federighi didn't work the first time. It didn't appear to be overly fast either. Perhaps that was just sort of jitters or pre-release software, but I'm hoping it's going to be fast because the success of the iPhone X is going to rely on Face ID. If you want to unlock your phone, aside from just looking at it, you can now swipe up from the bottom. In fact, that's where you're going to get home in any of your apps. It's just a swipe up from the bottom. Multitasking is kind of similar. You swipe up from the bottom, and then you sort of wait a minute, and then multitasking will show up and you can sort of go wherever you want to go. And you can use the bottom to swipe between apps. So you can go swipe to the left to get to different apps or swipe to the right to go back. If you want to launch Control Center, you go ahead and just swipe down from the upper right, and that's where Control Center is going to live. It's a new way to interact with your iPhone. Apple's talking a lot about a new experience with the phone, how the user is going to interact, and it's all centered around that camera system. It's centered a lot around Face ID. So the cameras on the iPhone X went from this way to that way, but in that transition, they gained dual optical image stabilization. The apertures changed a little bit. They got support for, of course, the portrait mode of the new lighting portrait effects, which will work in real time or after the fact. And the front-facing camera now supports both of those portrait things as well, so you can take beautiful bokeh selfies or do studio lighting with your portraits. And pricing, we knew this wasn't going to be cheap. It's going to come in two configurations, the same as the iPhone 8 and the 8 Plus, 256 or 64 gigs. You're going to be starting at $999. You'll be able to place your pre-order on October 27th and is going to ship on November 3rd. So in time for the holidays, but after the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 8 Plus. So I'll leave this question to you. What do you guys think about the iPhone 10? This is clearly the best that Apple has to offer. It's a competitive phone with a compelling feature set to compete against the best of Android. But is it enough to make you stick with Apple? Are you gonna go for the lower price iPhone 8 or iPhone 8 Plus? I really want to hear your thoughts on this one. I'm excited for the iPhone 10. I want to try Face ID. I want to see how it works. And if it works as promised, it might lure me back to Apple. I can't wait to get my hands on it. Gotta wait a few more months to do so. Give the video a thumbs up if you appreciate it. Of course, a subscription always helps as well. Till next time, I'm John Ranger from Techno Buffalo.